If you've never listened to me before, please make sure that you are at that 40 to 60% in cash in your portfolio. And if you have ignored me to this point, please pay attention. And I hope people read it and pay attention. Because if you've been caught up in the irrational enthusiasm that has been in the markets and in the mainstream media, then you could possibly be 100% in. Beautiful thing. Good for you. You did good. Now's not the time to be there. Because when I start seeing some logical, you know how I've whined for so long about the no correlation between the numbers. Well, it would only stand to reason. We see producer price indexes go up. We see wages go down. We see unemployment first-time claims go up for 2 weeks in a row. The numbers were bad at the end of the month last month, for as far as I think they were bad. When we start to see those things, and we see some correlation here, it is good to see consumer sentiment. We had horrible retail sales numbers on Wednesday. It would only stand to reason that when you see a retail sale number like that you have to expect a poor consumer confidence number, right? Because if the consumers are just, the consumer sentiment, everybody's happy, they're spending money, and retail numbers should be up. But we haven't seen that correlation. And that's what's been driving me crazy. You see retail sales numbers in the tank, like the last really bad retail sales numbers we had last month that they were blaming on the weather. We saw consumer sentiment tick up. I mean, there was no correlation. It drives me crazy. So now, and a lot of the consumer sentiment is going to be blamed not on finances or not on the economy right now. It's going to be blamed on the lowest approval rating this president has ever seen. The realization by the American people that we have no leadership in this country. We are a ship afloat with nobody standing at the helm. We have no idea where we're going to end up. We don't know what direction the ship is going to end up in. We don't know when we run aground, where we're going to be, what the state of the ship is going to be in by the time we run aground. We have nobody at the helm, and the American people are coming to the realization of that. And of course, that makes for some pretty poor consumer sentiment. When we see what's happening on the borders, we see the incredible law breaking by this president, ruling without any constitution. Somehow he probably has a constitution that he wrote that he has tucked away somewhere. Maybe that's what he's doing. But at the rate we're going now, between what is going on in the borders, that chaos, what is going on in international policy, utter chaos for the American people and what we're going to do, all of this lack of leadership, when we see what's happening economically and no movement forward, when we see the president of the United States unilaterally is just handing over the control of our economy to the EPA probably going to be the most powerful position in the world before too long. And I mean, if we think Stalin's what was Stalin's, a 5-year plan? If we think Stalin's 5-year plan was good, this is making that look like nothing. Because we are seeing some dramatic change in a hurry, because we have two things. We've got a president that doesn't care about the rule of law, doesn't care about the Constitution, doesn't care about the Congress, totally discounts the Congress. It doesn't matter. People say if we have a conservative Senate at the end of November, things are going to change. Tell me how things are going to change when the Senate and the House of Representatives haven't meant anything anyway. Why is that going to change? Oh, we're assuming that we're going to have some backbone. Let's not get too carried away and start assuming that, because I don't know how likely it is that everybody in Congress, all the incumbents, are going to somehow grow a backbone overnight. I don't know if that's going to be possible. So we have a president that could care less about. It doesn't matter who's the majority. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to this president. And you wonder why consumer confidence is down. So it's not strictly economic issues. It's all these other things. But when sentiment is down, people don't do what we need to be done to spend in the economy. Listen, people have to be thinking, some people, at least the traders, be thinking about, well, the Fed's only buying $45 billion now a month. Right? That's a good thing. We're winding that. Why is that a good thing? It is a good thing for me, by the way, but it's going to collapse the markets. And it's foolishness and just one of the most naive lines of thought you could have if you think for a moment that the Federal Reserve is going to stop trashing the dollar once they reach their zero of buying up these bonds. They can't. If they do it, we will go almost immediately to spending $1 trillion a year in interest to service our debt. We can't do it. They're going to have to stop it. Unless Janet Yellen's got a lot more guts than I think she has, and I hope she does.